Have you ever woken up feeling stiff, blaming it on just getting older, or found yourself immediately reaching for that cup of coffee, convinced it's your only key to alertness? Do you often struggle with persistent brain fog, a lingering grogginess, or a surprising lack of motivation that casts a shadow over your entire day, even after what you thought was a full night's sleep? Perhaps you've noticed simple everyday tasks becoming unexpectedly harder, like opening a stubborn jar or getting up from a low chair, leaving you feeling weaker or more fragile than you remember. These aren't merely unavoidable consequences of aging. What if I told you that many of these frustrating experiences are actually direct results of 5 common, yet often overlooked, morning mistakes you might be making every single day? You absolutely need to watch this video until the very end because, by revealing these 5 hidden habits and offering incredibly simple, actionable solutions for each, you'll unlock the secrets to reclaiming your vital energy, sharpening your mind, rebuilding your strength, and moving with newfound grace and confidence, ultimately transforming your ability to live independently and vibrantly for years to come. This isn't about fighting the inevitable. It's about aging smarter and living better, starting with your very first moments of the day. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know so I can make a better video for you. Now, let's get started. Mistake number 1. The dawn hydration ritual. Reaching for coffee first. All right, let's begin with the first morning mistake, one that I see in nearly every single patient who walks through my door. Habit number 1. The dawn hydration ritual. The mistake is reaching for a cup of coffee the moment your feet hit the floor. It's a habit deeply ingrained for many, where the smell of brewing coffee is the smell of the morning itself. This ritual often feels like the engine starter for our brain. However, this seemingly harmless morning tradition is silently sabotaging our bodies, particularly as we age. The dehydration trap, a scientific explanation. To understand the danger, I need you to understand what's truly happening inside your body at that moment. After 7, 8, or even 9 hours of sleep, your body is in a state of mild dehydration. You've been steadily losing water throughout the night simply by breathing and other metabolic processes. When you introduce coffee first thing, a known diuretic, you're essentially telling your already thirsty body to flush out even more precious fluid. This is what is happening on a scientific level, that coffee is pulling water from your joints, from your muscles, and even from the cells in your brain. Now, here's the core reason why this becomes so much more dangerous as we get older. A younger person's body has robust systems for managing fluid balance, and their sense of thirst is a reliable signal. But after 60, something changes. Our natural thirst mechanism begins to dull. This means we can be significantly dehydrated and not even feel it. So, while you might believe you're simply waking yourself up with that coffee, you're actually compounding an existing problem your body is no longer warning you about. This silent dehydration directly leads to many symptoms we often attribute to just getting older. That familiar stiffness in your knees when you first stand up? That isn't just arthritis. It's often your joints crying out for lubrication. The slight puffiness in your fingers, the feeling that your rings are too tight in the morning, that's your body trying to retain fluid in response to dehydration. And that frustrating brain fog, that feeling of being slow and groggy long after you've woken up? It's not necessarily a sign of cognitive decline. It's often a direct symptom of a dehydrated brain. The scientific proof here is undeniable and quite startling. Research from experts at Johns Hopkins University has shown that even mild dehydration, just 1% or 2%, can reduce cognitive function in older adults by a staggering 25%. Imagine that a quarter of your mental clarity could be missing simply because you haven't had a glass of water. Real-life example. Carol's transformation. I saw this exact scenario play out with a wonderful patient of mine, a woman named Carol. She was 82, sharp as a tack, but plagued by daily headaches and dizzy spells that made her terrified of falling. Her cupboards were filled with prescriptions, but nothing seemed to work. Upon reviewing her routine, the problem was immediately apparent. She started every day with 2 strong cups of black coffee. I asked her to make one single change, just one. Before she even thought about her coffee maker, she was to drink a glass of water. Carol was naturally skeptical, questioning how could something so simple possibly help. Yet, she promised to try. A week later, my office phone rang. It was Carol, and her voice was filled with a joy I hadn't heard in years. She exclaimed, "Doctor," she said, "I stood up from my chair this morning, and I didn't have to grab the wall. My headache is gone." Carol didn't need another pill. Her body was just thirsty. Constructive action, your new morning ritual. So, please, stop letting your body run on empty every morning. The solution is right there in your kitchen tap. Here is your new constructive action. Before your coffee, before your tea, before anything else, start your day with an 8-ounce glass of room-temperature water. That's about 240 milliliters for our international friends, but 8 ounces is key here in the US. And here's a little secret from my practice. Add just a tiny pinch of natural sea salt. Not table salt, but mineral-rich sea salt. This addition is crucial because this provides essential electrolytes like sodium and potassium that help your cells actually absorb the water more efficiently. It transforms a simple glass of water into a powerful, full-body hydration solution. While you can certainly get electrolytes from a balanced diet, this morning ritual delivers them at the most critical moment of the day. Call to action. So, let's make a commitment. If you promise to try this simple, life-changing ritual, I want you to go to the comments right now and write one word: water. It's a promise to yourself. Now for the second mistake, which is just as common and just as silently damaging. Use arrow up and arrow down to select a turn, enter to jump to it, and escape to return to the chat. Mistake number 2. The morning light reset, staying indoors all morning. Habit number 2. The morning light reset. The mistake is staying indoors all morning. We wake up, turn on the artificial lights in the bathroom, the kitchen, and the living room, and we think our bodies have gotten the message that the day has begun. But they haven't. Not in the way that matters. Many of us are accustomed to this indoor start to our day, believing that the flick of a light switch is enough to kickstart our internal systems. However, this common oversight deprives our bodies of a crucial natural signal, leading to a cascade of negative effects on our health and well-being. Scientific explanation. The circadian rhythm's call. Inside every one of us is a master clock, a biological pacemaker known as the circadian rhythm. This intricate internal clock is far more than just a sleep-wake timer. It governs over 150 critical bodily functions, including your hormone production, your immune response, your digestion, and even your mood. The crucial factor for resetting this powerful clock each day is natural, full-spectrum sunlight entering your eyes. Critically, Artificial light from a lamp simply doesn't have the specific wavelengths or the intensity required to do the job properly. Our indoor lighting, no matter how bright it seems, pales in comparison to the powerful signals of natural daylight. Here's the core reason this becomes absolutely essential as we age. As our bodies get older, the systems that regulate our key hormones become more delicate. The delicate balance of our internal chemistry is easily disrupted. The production of melatonin, the hormone that makes us sleepy, and serotonin, the hormone that makes us feel happy and awake, can more easily fall out of sync. Without the robust and unambiguous signal of morning sunlight, your brain may not fully stop producing melatonin. This persistent presence of melatonin, even during daylight hours, means you can walk around all day in a state of biological twilight, feeling tired, unmotivated, and a little bit down, even if you got a full 8 hours of sleep. Moreover, this lack of morning light profoundly impacts our nighttime rest. It's also why so many older adults struggle with sleeping through the night. A weak morning signal leads to a weak evening signal, making it harder for your body to know when it's time to wind down and produce the melatonin needed for deep, restorative sleep. That frustrating feeling of being tired but wired at night often starts with a lack of sunlight in the morning. The science behind this is truly fascinating and incredibly empowering. Major studies from prestigious institutions like Stanford University have demonstrated that just 10 to 15 minutes of direct morning sunlight can boost the production of serotonin by over 40%. Think of it, that's a powerful natural antidepressant available for free right outside your door. Real-life example, Patricia finds rest. I had a patient, Patricia, an 81-year-old woman who had been wrestling with insomnia for the better part of a decade. Her attempts to find sleep were extensive. Her nightstand looked like a pharmacy. Melatonin supplements, herbal teas, even prescription sleeping aids. Nothing gave her a truly restful night. She had resigned herself, telling me, "I just don't think I'm meant to sleep anymore." Upon reviewing her daily habits, I looked at her routine and suggested something that sounded almost silly to her. I simply asked her to take her morning cup of tea and drink it on her back porch every single day for 10 minutes. Predictably, she laughed. "Doctor," she said, "sitting on my porch isn't going to fix 20 years of bad sleep." Yet, being a good sport, she agreed to try it for 1 week. The results were astonishing. The following Friday, she called my office. She was amazed. For the first time in over a decade, she had fallen asleep easily around 9:30 and didn't wake up until 6 in the morning. Her transformation wasn't due to new medication or complex therapies. All she did was reconnect her body to the rhythm of nature. Constructive action. Step outside. So, please listen to what your body is asking for. Here is your constructive action. Within 30 minutes of waking up, step outside. You don't need to do a workout. You don't even need to walk. Just sit or stand for 10 to 15 minutes. This next part is absolutely crucial. Try not to wear sunglasses. The light needs to enter the special receptors in your retina to send that wake-up signal to your brain's master clock. Even on a seemingly cloudy, overcast day, the outdoor light is many, many times more powerful than your indoor lighting. Don't let weather be an excuse. Bundle up if it's cold. Stand under a covered porch if it's raining. Just get outside. This simple, yet profound act tells your body that the day has truly begun, setting you up for more energy now and a better night's sleep later. Call to action. If you're ready to embrace the power of morning light, comment "sunlight" below. Let's move on to our third morning mistake. This one happens entirely between our ears, and it has a profound impact on our mental clarity for the rest of the day. If you are still watching this video, and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Mistake number 3. The 4-minute mind tune-up, passive or negative mindset. Habit number 3. The 4-minute mind tune-up. The mistake is allowing your mind to be passive or, even worse, flooding it with negativity first thing in the morning. What do most people do? For many, the start of the day is often dictated by external forces. We turn on the television to the morning news with all its stressful headlines. Or, with a simple flick of the thumb, we pick up our phones and start scrolling through social media. Sometimes, it's a quieter, internal struggle, where we simply sit with our coffee and let our worries about the day ahead, about our health, our finances, our family, circle endlessly in our heads. In these moments, we are letting the most precious mental window of the entire day slip through our fingers, an opportunity to proactively shape our cognitive function and emotional state. Scientific explanation: the brain's golden hour. You see, science tells us that in the first hour of waking, your brain is in a remarkable state. Neuroscientists describe this as a state of high neuroplasticity. This means your brain is exceptionally receptive to forming new connections and strengthening existing ones. During this critical period, you also have elevated levels of a crucial protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. You can consider BDNF as a kind of miracle grow for your brain cells, helping them grow, survive, and communicate more effectively. This natural surge of brain-enhancing activity is a gift, and how we utilize it can significantly impact our mental longevity. This is the core reason why using this window wisely is so vital as we get older. We've all experienced those unsettling moments. Walking into a room and forgetting why we're there, or struggling to find the right word in a conversation. We tend to worry that these are signs of an inevitable decline, but often, in many cases, they are simply signs of an understimulated brain. Our brains, much like our muscles, thrive on use, especially the right kind of use. By neglecting to actively and purposefully engage our brains during this peak morning window, we are missing the single best opportunity of the day to build cognitive reserve, which is our brain's resilience against age-related changes. That familiar feeling of brain fog, of mental slowness, isn't just a symptom of dehydration. It's also the symptom of a mind that hasn't been properly warmed up for the day's tasks. Real-life example: Brenda's mental recovery. The power of this concept is truly transformative. I recall a patient, Brenda, an 88-year-old woman who was recovering from a very difficult hip replacement surgery. Her confinement left her mostly bedridden for weeks and couldn't do her physical therapy, which left her feeling depressed and mentally sluggish. During one of our consultations, I shared with her my simple 4-minute routine. The beauty of it was its accessibility. She could do it right there in her bed. Brenda diligently began practicing it every single morning without fail. Weeks later, when her physical therapist came to see her a few weeks later, he was stunned. He shared his observations with me, saying, "I don't know what she's doing, but her mental engagement and her positive attitude are recovering far faster than her body." Brenda was not just healing physically. She was actively rebuilding her brain, 1 minute at a time. Constructive action, your 4-minute mind tune-up. So, let's stop letting the world dictate our mental state in the morning. Here is your new constructive action: my 4-minute mind tune-up. It's simple. This routine is designed to activate key brain functions without requiring significant effort or time. For 1 minute, do simple mental math. Nothing complicated, just something like 23 plus 18 or 5 and 6. This seemingly small exercise activates your brain's logic centers. For the next minute, learn one new word, just one. You can find it from a dictionary, a calendar, or an app. Say it aloud and use it in a sentence. This simple act fires up your language pathways. For the final 2 minutes, simply visualize your day ahead going well. Picture yourself moving with ease, having pleasant conversations, and accomplishing your tasks with confidence. This powerful practice engages the executive function part of your brain, setting a positive mental tone. That's it. 4 minutes before the noise, before the worries. You are not passively accepting your mental state. You are actively shaping it. You are not losing your mind. You just need to give it a reason to wake up. Call to action. If you found this idea surprising or powerful, please share that with me by commenting "Wow" below. This brings us to our fourth morning mistake, a physical one that directly impacts our safety and our ability to live independently for years to come. Habit number 4. Graceful motion. The mistake is either not moving at all upon waking, or perhaps even more dangerously, doing the wrong kinds of stretches. For decades, many of us were given outdated advice. For years, we were taught to wake up and do big stretches, touching our toes, twisting our spine, rolling our neck. I've even had patients who swore by their old 90s yoga tapes, believing they were doing their bodies a favor. However, what once felt beneficial can become actively detrimental as our bodies change with age. Scientific explanation: mobility over flexibility. The problem is, what worked for our bodies at 40 can be actively harmful to our bodies at 70 or 80. Here's the crucial science behind this shift. As we age, the fluid-filled discs in our spine and the cartilage in our joints naturally lose moisture overnight, making them stiffer and more vulnerable in the morning. This nocturnal dehydration is a silent culprit. Additionally, the connective tissues, our ligaments and tendons, also lose their elasticity. When you then force these cold, less flexible tissues into a deep stretch or a sharp twist, you risk creating tiny micro-tears. These minuscule injuries compound, leading to inflammation, instability, and pain. It's not that your body isn't trying to be difficult, it's trying to protect itself from further harm. This is the core reason why our entire approach to morning movement needs to change as we age. Our primary goal in the first 30 minutes of the day should shift dramatically. Our primary goal in the first 30 minutes of the day is not to become more flexible. It is to become more mobile. There's a big difference. Understanding this distinction is key. Flexibility is about the length of your muscles. Mobility is about the usable, pain-free range of motion in your joints. What we truly need is to gently reintroduce fluid and blood flow to our joints, warming them up like an old car on a cold winter morning. This gentle approach prepares our bodies for the day ahead without causing damage. This mindful movement is what actively prevents that shocking, sharp pain in your back when you bend over unexpectedly. It's also what significantly improves your balance and prevents that terrifying moment of feeling unsteady on your feet. That pervasive feeling of being fragile or fearful of movement isn't a mandatory part of aging. Instead, it's a direct result of not moving with wisdom and respect for our bodies' changes. Even esteemed institutions like Harvard Medical School highlight the importance of gentle, joint-focused movements for older adults to maintain functional independence, emphasizing the value of preserving our ability to move freely and safely. Real-life example: Dorothy and her walker. The proof of this approach isn't found in a textbook, it's seen in the lives of my patients. One particularly impactful case was Dorothy, a lovely 87-year-old who had become completely dependent on her walker, especially in the morning. She affectionately called it her morning crutch. She had sadly resigned herself to the idea that this was just her life now, and had stopped stretching because, as she put it just hurts, dear. Instead of traditional stretches, I didn't give her a single stretch. Instead, I taught her a simple 7-minute sequence of gentle, joint-focused movements she could do while sitting in a sturdy chair. Dorothy, though hesitant, was willing to try anything. The outcome was remarkable. 2 weeks later, she walked into my office for her follow-up appointment without her walker. She had left it in the car. With genuine emotion, with tears in her eyes, she said, "I feel like my body woke up." Her experience proved that her body didn't need to be forced. It needed to be invited. Constructive action, your 7-minute graceful motion sequence. So, please, let's stop fighting our bodies and start working with them. Here is your constructive action, a simple 7-minute graceful motion sequence. This routine is designed for safety and effectiveness, requiring no floor work or discomfort. Number 1. Seated shoulder circles. Just 30 seconds forward, then 30 seconds back. This gently warms the upper body. Number 2. Seated marching. Gently lift one knee, then the other, for 1 minute. This improves hip and knee mobility. Number 3. Doorway chest expansion. Stand in a doorway and gently press your palms into the frame to open your chest for 30 seconds. This helps counteract rounded shoulders. Number 4. Supported squats. Hold on to a sturdy counter and slowly bend your knees only as far as is comfortable for 1 minute. This builds lower body strength and flexibility safely. And number 5. Seated ankle circles. 1 minute for each ankle. This enhances ankle mobility and balance. That's it. No pain, no matter, no getting on the floor. This sequence is a morning act of self-respect. Remember, mobility isn't about vanity. It's about dignity, preserving our ability to live fully and independently. Call to action. If you're ready to invite graceful motion into your mornings, type motion in the comments below. And finally, we arrive at the 5th, and, in my clinical opinion, the most impactful mistake of all. This one habit is directly tied to your strength, your energy, and your ability to remain independent. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Mistake number 5. The strength-building breakfast. High carb, low protein. Habit number 5. The strength-building breakfast. The single most dangerous morning mistake is eating a breakfast that is high in carbohydrates and low in protein. This widespread dietary error, often perpetuated by traditional advertising and convenience, is a silent saboteur of our physical resilience. I'm talking about the classic American breakfast. A bowl of cereal, a piece of toast with jam, an English muffin, a bagel, or maybe just a piece of fruit like a banana. These foods offer a deceptive promise. They give you a quick burst of energy from sugar, but they do absolutely nothing to feed what your aging body needs most: your muscles. This oversight can have profound implications for our strength and independence. Scientific explanation: anabolic resistance and sarcopenia. The science on this is critically important for everyone over the age of 60 to understand. After approximately age 50, our bodies undergo a physiological change called anabolic resistance. This is a complicated term for a simple, harsh reality. Our muscles become less responsive to the protein we eat. This means that even if you maintain the same protein intake as in your younger years, your body struggles to use it to repair and maintain your muscle tissue. It's like trying to water a thirsty plant, but the soil isn't absorbing the water efficiently. This reduced efficiency leads to a stealthy yet pervasive issue: a gradual, silent loss of muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is not merely a consequence of aging, it is the true hidden culprit behind so much of what we fear about aging. It's the underlying reason it becomes harder to get up out of a chair, transforming a simple act into a struggle. It's why we can no longer open a stubborn jar lid, a small frustration that signals deeper muscular decline. And most dangerously, it's the reason our balance falters and our risk of a life-altering fall skyrockets. That undeniable feeling of weakness, of frailty, isn't just in your head. It is the direct physical result of muscles that are literally starving for the right building blocks at the right time. Crucially, the most important time to deliver those building blocks is in the morning. Why this specific window? Because after fasting all night, your muscles are in a breakdown state and are primed for repair. They are acutely receptive to nutrients. Feeding them carbohydrates first thing sends a weak signal, merely a fleeting energy spike. However, feeding them a concentrated dose of protein sends a powerful command: rebuild, get stronger, says. The scientific evidence supporting this is robust. The research from the Nutrition and Aging Laboratory at Tufts University is the gold standard here. Their extensive work has shown conclusively that older adults who consume 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein within the first hour of waking have significantly better grip strength, faster walking speed, and much slower rates of muscle loss no matter what they eat for the rest of the day. This underscores the immense power of this one meal. Real-life example. Arthur reclaims his strength. I think about my patient Arthur, a proud 91-year-old man who came to me because he was struggling to carry his own groceries from the car. His frustration was palpable. "I just feel so weak, Doc," he told me. His morning routine offered a clear insight into the problem. His breakfast? Toast and black coffee every day for 50 years. A classic high-carb, low-protein start. I didn't put him on an exercise machine, a common assumption for building strength. Instead, I simply changed his breakfast. I advised him to switch to 2 scrambled eggs and a cup of Greek yogurt. The transformation was swift and remarkable. He came back a month later, stood up straighter, and shook my hand firmly. With renewed vigor, "I feel like myself again," he said. Arthur wasn't just breaking a habit. He was feeding his strength, not just his habit. Constructive action, your strength-building breakfast. So I urge you, take a hard look at your breakfast plate. Here is your actionable step. Make it your non-negotiable mission to consume at least 25 to 30 grams of protein in your first meal. Achieving this target is easier than you think. Consider these practical options. 2 eggs and a half cup of cottage cheese are about 25 grams. For a higher boost, a cup of Greek yogurt mixed with a scoop of protein powder is well over 30 grams. Alternatively, a smoothie with whey protein, almond milk, and a handful of nuts is perfect for a quick, nutrient-dense option. For optimal results, timing is key. And for best results, do your gentle movement routine first, then eat your protein. This sequence increases blood flow to the muscles, making them even more receptive to the essential protein building blocks. Call to action. If you understand how truly critical this final habit is, I want you to declare it. Please go to the comments and write the word strength. It's a commitment to feeding your independence. We've explored 5 key morning mistakes affecting your health and independence. What's one change you'll make? Comment below. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe.